海岸通りを歩きたい、ドライブだってしてみたい、足し線の合わせてほしいの、サマータイム。君の虜になってしまえばきっとこの夏は充実するの、もっともう戻れなくたって忘れないで、でも気持ちを伝えてしまえばいつかこの夢は覚めてしまうだろうな、青い影が揺れる街角、君の虜になってしまえばきっとこの夏は充実するの、もっともう戻れなくたって忘れないで、でも気持ちを伝えてしまえばいつかこの夢は覚めてしまうだろうな、青い影が揺れる街角、君の虜になってしまえばきっとこの夏は充実するの、もっともう戻れなくたって忘れないで、でも気持ちを伝えてしまえばいつかこの夢は覚めてしまうだろうな、青い影が揺れる街角、何年経っても言えない、後悔したって今はない、でも言葉はここまで出てるの、サマータイム。海岸通りを歩きたい、ドライブだってしてみたい、足し線の合わせてほしいの、サマータイム。君の虜になってしまえばきっとこの夏は充実するの、もっともう戻れなくたって忘れないで、
Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to
Hi.
Welcome to Anime Church, the church where you can cosplay and no one will judge you for it. That's right. We judge you on other things based on how much of a asshole you are, Yeah, things like that. I am Richie Roberts, your Minister of Science and Technology.
I am Fender Sarden, your patron saint of snackos and alcohol.
Hmm. And we have a lot of stuff to talk about, as you guys can just now see. Uh, Look at all those tabs. That's a lot of tabs. Now we're trying to go through stuff kind of quickly so that this show doesn't feel like it takes forever, but we do want to cover quite a bit. And One Piece live action is still kind of the big thing that's out right now, so we're gonna cover a little bit of that without going into spoiler stuff. But I this is stuff that Netflix has put out available on YouTube, so you guys can go and check it out. And of course, every story that we talk about is covered in the links down below. So please, if you want to know more about something, go ahead and check it out. The first thing I wanted to bring up, because I thought it was pretty interesting, uh, it took 3 different people to portray Sanji, or not Sanji, Jesus, I saw Sanji on screen, to portray Chopper in the live action. I thought that was pretty cool. So they had the voice, which is Michaela Hoover.
Or I
Yeah.
didn't.
She not only voiced for the character, but they filmed her performance while she was doing the voiceover and used that to kind of match her expression to what Chopper was expressing. So she was kind of like the facial emoting for Chopper as well. So she did kind of performance capture in a way. So that was pretty cool. And then they had, uh, obviously, they had to have someone on set. Okay, so this is part of it. Like they took some of like
I was a reindeer.
so they took some of like her performance and kind of overlaid it on Chopper when they made him in CG. And I mean, guys, look at this. This is so good. Like once again, hats off to the visual effects team. Hats off. Yeah, pun intended. But like, this is so daggum good. I love how good Chopper looks. Like that's freaking adorable. It's not Uncanny Valley first trailer of Sonic the Hedgehog, you know? Just this looks good. This looks very good. I think it was because it was done by people who cared. Also, one of the cutest moments, Zoro putting Chopper on his shoulder without talking about the when, the where, and the why. But they had a kind of stuffed Chopper on set that you could interact with, and they had another person there that was doing uh, dialogue and acting off of them, and that's this girl here, and she would have like a kind of a mocap suit on, and I'm trying to find her name.
Right here.
I wore a one-piece suit.
Actress, and she's the one for Stuffy. And then we have our Chopper proxy, which is Nkone. She's an actress, and she's the
Nkone.
one that's acting in the scenes with us.
Hello, hello, hello. Tony Chopper here.
I wore a one-piece suit, shin pads, knee pads.
There you go, Nikone. I hope I'm saying that right. But yeah, the onset proxy actor that they had someone to work off with, which I cannot tell you is such an important thing to have someone that is your acting partner to bounce off of for the scenes that you're in with them. If it's not a monologue, it's very very necessary to have that. If that person's not present, it can make a big difference. And then of course uh there is the human form of Chopper, which was portrayed by the guy in the suit, and he is covered. He is almost completely covered from head to toe. He said the only part of Chopper that is actually him is his fingernails. So Gavin Gomez, or not his fingernails, but like his fingertips from the first knuckle up. That's the only part of him that you can visibly see. Everything else is covered in like prosthetics and makeup and all sorts of stuff, and the bodysuit. And they apparently molded the suit to him too. I thought that was pretty cool. So now that you know, like, how much work went into just crafting and creating the character of Chopper, does that change your perception on the live action One Piece adaptation? Does it give you more excitement, or are you still kind of the same because you were like, yeah, they've been awesome? Like, how does this change your perception of this?
I had still planned on watching it anyway, so
Oh yeah, no, I'm just
doesn't
saying.
really change it.
Well, no, not I didn't necessarily mean that. I was like, does it? You're like, oh, I'm so glad that we've got these fans on board. Or were you already like, oh yeah, we already knew how dedicated this group of people was. I'm glad it's still going. How does that? I'm glad that they put so much serious thought into this in a way. Yeah. So I didn't know if it amped you up for it, or if this just seemed like, oh, that's really cool. I'm glad I knew that. Or
It's one of those, yeah, I'm glad I knew that, but
yeah,
it doesn't make me want to watch it more than I already do.
that's good. That's good. All right. So next we talk about some of the stunts that are going on this season, because they did up the stunts quite a bit. The intensity of the stunts this time
The
around.
first season was
And both. Jesus Christ. Okay, I understand some of this is a little painted on, but a lot of that is just him. And he went without water for 2 days, specifically for the shirtless scene. I'm like, damn, dude. Yeah, that's how they do it. They dehydrate so the muscles pop out like that. And the same with Iñaki, because he had a scene where he's not wearing a shirt. But
about training and learning how to do all the stunts. And then I kept on training from there, because this season was more about how much more creative can we get.
One of the best parts of our show is that we all do most of our own stunts. Just makes it feel more real.
Entire cast really stepped up from an acrobatic perspective. We've got everyone involved, doing a lot of gymnastics training.
Luffy, of course, he loves to fight. And I've been training acrobatics for a year now, so we've been trying to add more of that into the show. I bring a backflip now.
Stunt rigging is a huge part of the show. It just looks so.
I love watching these because I love seeing the dedication of like the cast and crew to how much they put in on this. And of course, we all know how much works the Taz put in for Sanji. But like,
Dude, you should watch his YouTube videos on his
I do.
commentary on becoming Sanji. Like, it is fucking eye-opening.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. And here we have Julia, who plays Tashigi. She basically learned swordsmanship from the ground up.
Tashigi did extensive training with Koji, a sword master.
She learned a very precise style of fighting. That's really incredible.
It was great fun to see her up against Zoro. And then we have a fight in the saloon.
Oh yeah, this is the one that I think everybody's going to pay attention to the most. For those of you who saw Whiskey Peak, you know that Zoro fights like 100 people. Well, they did that in the live action, if you have not already seen it, and it lives up to everything. And I love, once you get to that episode and you finish that, I highly recommend you checking this out, because they go a little in depth into this, and it's so cool, like hearing all of them talk about it and how much they wanted to make sure that you can sit there and count all 100 that he takes out, because they were like, yeah, fans are going to sit there and count. We want to make sure that we have 100 people. So they literally did have 100 people. And on top of all of that, I want to say one other thing. McKenyu here did all of this with a broken pinky. So it was 6 days, 8 hours a day, filming just this sequence, this fight in the bar. So once again, I just want to. I look when people do something right and there's that good amount of dedication in there. I wanna throw to it and give them props. So that's kind of why One Piece is getting so much of its flowers right now. But yeah, that's basically it. If this changes your perspective positively, negatively, let us know in the comments below. I'm assuming it's still pretty much the same for you, right?
Yep.
Yep. Same level of hype. Good stuff. And then last but not least, they introduce a bunch of different Baroque Works agents, including 2 characters that didn't really show up. So we get Miss Thursday here, who never showed up in the manga or the anime, but was somebody that was commented on by Oda in like a fan Q&A type thing that he did through Shonen Jump. And so they brought her into this, and she is the sister of Mr. 4 from Alabasta, which I thought was pretty cool. And then they also added Mr. 11 in there, and he didn't really show up in either of them, in either the anime or the manga. And I once again, I like when they do those little things. They make these little additions to the story that make it feel like a much more lived-in world, like an interconnected world. And yeah, I just give them One Piece their flowers real quick, and then we'll move on. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Boy, oh boy, some stuff dropped this week. Movies. It was a good week for movie trailers. So we got Dune Part 3. First off, yeah, I automatically I'm looking forward to this. Yes, 100% yes, full time. I'm absolutely going to be watching this in IMAX. Dune has earned it. Did you get a chance to see the trailer yet, Fenris?
I'm not interested in Dune.
Oh, darn it. The movies were good. The books are kind of as they get further and further, the books can get kind of crazy. But yeah, Messiah's the one that a lot of people wanted to see how they would try and adapt it, and I'm kind of curious based on how Dune 2 ended. Yeah, I'm here for it. If you haven't checked out the trailer, please do. That's all I'm gonna say. Also, Timothy Chalamet apparently had to shave his head for this, because at one point he's got his head shaved. And I also like that the music is basically it's kind of like a war chant almost. Oh yeah, and jeez. Okay, where is it? Okay. Okay, okay, there we go. So, I almost did not recognize him. That's Robert Pattinson. I almost did not recognize him. I'm like, damn. There's Batman. Which, by the way, they have said they're good to that the script is done for the second The Batman film, the one that he was in, the one that's like more gritty and grounded and more detective noir kind of style. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, so I was really surprised. I was like, holy crap! Like now that I know that's Robert Pattinson, I could tell. I can kind of tell now because it's like, yeah, I can see it. But like, man, he looks so different, and I'm so here for it. I look at this and think that's crazy. Yeah. This is still done by Denis Villeneuve, who did the first 2 Dune movies that have been coming out this decade. And so I've loved his artistic take on this. Visually, I also love Hans Zimmer's score for this. It is kind of the Star Wars of this generation if you think about when Star Wars first came out. Edward Cullen got paler? Oh my god. No, that's because he's on Arrakis. We'll get to that.
You'd think he'd have a tan.
You think, but well, he's not from Arrakis, so I don't know where his character hails from. I don't know his character. I don't know anything about Dune Messiah. I've heard some things, but that's about it. And So we've got back-to-back Zendaya films coming out, and that's because Spider-Man dropped their first official trailer for Brand New Day, the movie that we've been so hyped about, Doomsday, we almost forgot was coming out. Looks really good. This is Tom Holland's take on Spider-Man now that he's not kind of under the shadow of Tony Stark or the other Avengers and stuff. This is literally just him on his own. Everybody's forgotten him. It's more kind of in line with, I guess, kind of the Tobey Maguire kind of Spider-Man, where he's like, he's on his own. He's going to be late on his bills.
Where he grew up.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. And also, I love this shot of him just sitting there looking at his phone, but he's upside down on a girder. That's just, man. And this is done by the same director that did Shang-Chi, which was the martial arts movie. It's kind of like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon meets Marvel, which I love. Like his fight style and fight choreography style and the way that he shoots is so interesting. And I could definitely tell from here that this is going to have kind of that flair to it. Now, this is supposed to be a more street level Spider-Man, not kind of the galactic threat kind of stuff. So he's going to be interacting with like Punisher and fighting like robbers and stuff like that, not going after big bad alien stuff. But yeah, this is supposed to be on the more street level side. And I think that's where Spider-Man kind of works best, when he's doing kind of his New York superhero thing and not his world or galactic superhero thing. And if you grew up with the cartoons, one of the other things that is going on here is his DNA is supposed to be going through some mutations, so we could get Man Spider. So that'll be interesting if they do that, because then you have Peter with like 6 arms. Yeah. That being said, I'm looking forward to it. I don't want to play for copyright reasons, guys. I don't want to play the trailer too much. I already know where Fenris stands on this, so he's not a superhero guy, and that's fine. You know, you do you.
Much to a lot of people's dismay, apparently.
But I am curious to hear what your thoughts are down in the chat and in the comments on what you would like. What were you thinking about when you saw this trailer? Let us know. All right, on to some non-superhero stuff in the last little bit before we get to gaming. Dude, they announced it. Firefly is coming back for an animated series that's going to take place before the Serenity movie. So, you know, a follow-up to the series that takes place before the movie. And so there were like, there's all these stories that were kind of like hinted at or talked about while they were filming the series that never really got to be covered. And Nathan got so many people on board, and they're going to do an animated series. They've got the blessings of Fox Disney, Joss Whedon. They got 2 showrunners for it. They got the animation team. Let me make sure I got this right. Something Machine. I forget what it was called.
Rage Against?
No, it wasn't Rage Against the Machine. No, it's an animation house, not a band. So Mark Guggenheim and Tara Butters are going to be the showrunners. Looking at the scripts, who created the show was subsequently turned into a persona non grata once more. Yeah. I don't want to cover that. Okay. What the frick? Are they not saying the name of the freaking? Okay. Mini series designs. Okay, they're just not showing that. Okay, cool. Good to know. Freaking heck. Yeah. That's That's annoying to me that they didn't put the name of the animation company in here. But they're like Emmy award-winning animation company, and maybe I missed it. Maybe I'm trying to go through it, but basically, they're looking for a home for it. So, I'm pushing for Amazon. Some people are like, "Oh, don't put it on Disney Plus; it'll get ruined." I'm like, okay, well, technically speaking, Disney owns Fox, and Fox owns the rights, but
I mean,
you know.
I would like to see it on High Dive because then they would be able to showcase a lot more blood and gore.
Well, they could do it on Amazon as well if, considering what all they've let Vox Machina and the Mighty Nine do.
True.
Amazon Prime would be a great place for it to go to.
But I'm also a huge fan of High Dive in general compared to another streaming service that
that we'll be talking about later. Yeah. That being said, I think the thing is, I don't know if High Dive would put this up. I think aren't they mostly like anime related?
Mostly. They are owned by AMC. Which, well,
right.
Memory serves, AMC also had Sci-Fi that had Firefly.
Fox had it first, and they didn't know what to do with it, and it got canceled after one season, which sucked. But, guys, the other thing that I want to point out is that they did a big panel where they announced all of this, and they said, hey, please share and promote it to let people know how much interest is out there, to let companies know how much interest there is to help them find a home. So if you want to help them find a home for this animated series, if you want to see more Firefly, if you're new to Firefly, seriously, check it out. It's really good. It's best way to describe it is space western. Yeah. Kind of like
I imagine Outlaw Star, but as a live action series.
Kind of. Yeah. Like Outlaw Star and Cowboy Bebop sat down and just decided, hey, let's merge together for a live action, and that's kind of Firefly, if we're being honest. But yeah, there we go. So also, how excited are you for this news? Did you watch Firefly? Did you?
I did not. I've heard fantastic things.
Highly recommend checking it out. You can. I think the series
a lot
is on
of
Netflix
people do.
right now. I think the series is on Netflix right now, and the more the streaming numbers go up for Firefly, the more streaming services pay attention to that and are likely to pick up this series. So highly recommend checking it out if you have Netflix. All right. Let's move on to gaming stuff. Boy, oh boy, this was the best way. This is the best thing that has summed this whole thing up. We've got a big update on the whole Crafton and, well, at this point, I guess you could say Crafton and Unknown Worlds, but the lawsuit against Crafton.
Crafton just got humiliated in their lawsuit against the creators of Subnautica, and you can make it more embarrassing. Let's talk about it. So in case you don't know, let me catch you up. Unknown Worlds created Subnautica, and Crafton purchased Unknown Worlds. But now Crafton is actually in a lawsuit against the people who invented Subnautica. You see, when Crafton bought Unknown Worlds, part of the deal was that if by 2026 they could sell enough copies of the early access to Subnautica 2, they would have to pay out a $250 million bonus, and Crafton was more than happy to sign this. But as hype started to grow around the game, they got buyer's remorse, and the CEO wanted to find a way out. And I'll give you more details about that in another video, because this one would be way too long if I tried to cover it here. Long story short, he fired the people who were actually behind Subnautica and in leadership positions, and then did a hostile takeover, and then they got sued for wrongful termination. And the judge just gave their first verdict, saying that everything was illegal and they undid the firing, meaning that they have to rehire the CEO. But it doesn't stop there, because the judge also ordered that the CEO be fully in charge of the early access launch on Steam without Crafton interfering in any way. And on top of that, the judge extended how long they have to meet their sales goal, because it was supposed to be at the end of 2025, and now they have until September. Now obviously Crafton wants to be an AI slot machine, but But the people that are actually making Subnautica are very invested in making a good game because they know if they sell enough, they will be able to get that $250 million bonus. And that's where you come in, because there's nothing that will make the Krafton CEO cry more than having him actually have to pay the $250 million that he tried to weasel his way out of. Just saying.
I mean, yeah, you could kind of sum it up that way. Yeah.
Where's the fucking lie?
Yeah, right? So, yeah, it gets down, they get into some of the nitty gritty here over on Reddit if you want to read the fighter details. But basically, if you really want to stick it to them, when it comes out on early access, you can get it. Just get it in early access. And it will be cheaper if you get it through early access. Also, Krafton is in trouble again because they accidentally leaked when it was supposed to come out. May. Oh my God. So if it comes out in May, guys, get it, because you're screwing over Krafton and supporting the dev team, because the CEO and the other two guys that got fired are not only are rehired now, and they have straight up said that they were going to take their cut and split it with the devs, but now they're going to take even more of that cut, so that the rest of the devs are going to get even higher percentage of that 250 million. So guys, if you want to support the devs, get Subnautica when it comes out on early access. I'm not saying you have to be a fan of Subnautica, but if you ever wanted to stick it to a publishing company, this is the time to do that. Like if you wanted to put out a thing that says, I'm buying this out of protest to Krafton, please, that would be hilarious. And honestly, considering how early access games are, that's like somewhere around like $20-$30 out of your time. It's not a huge amount. These games, like, while they're amazing and it's mind-blowing that you can purchase a game like this for that much, early access tends to be cheaper than full release. Some people will want to wait for full release, totally understand it, but the more you give into early access, the more it sticks it to Krafton. I don't have anything else to say to this. I think the guy in the video summed it up pretty much. Yeah. Anything you want to add, Fenris, before we move on?
Fucking getting what they deserve.
I agree. All right, let's move on to Helldivers.
Both the publishing company and the devs.
Yeah. In both positive and negative ways, everyone's getting what they deserve.
A new mystery has emerged from the darkest corners of our galaxy.
We're getting a new update in Helldivers, and I don't know how to feel. I don't fully know what this is. Did you get a chance to see this yet, Fenris?
Oh, I watched that minutes after they uploaded it.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on this? Okay. So, are we getting like more variations of Illuminated? Like, what is going on here? I do like the style that it's shot in. It's very kind of like old school.
Did you not see my comments in the server?
No, no.
I believe I put it under general.
Oh, in here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Can't wait to fight the flood. Oh, to be fair, true. Very has a flood feel to it. Yeah.
Devastating exostorms torment innocent planets.
I like how they're doing like the old school horror kind of like black and white cheesy horror music kind of. Yeah. I think that's
harnessed against managed democracy. Mysterious sightings. Are they new specimens worthy of study? Or just undocumented Illuminates protecting a sinister plot?
Undocumented Illuminate. Also, isn't the guy narrating also the guy from the intro?
He's John Helldiver.
John Helldiver. I love that they keep.
That is now his canonical name.
I love that this actor is going, like, they keep using this actor. Like, he's so good and he's so invested in the community. I love that they keep getting him to come back and do stuff. I think that's great. Oh, man. John Hell.
Strange technology.
Strange technology.
Does their primitive technology lay dormant? Or has this simplistic machine just turned itself on? So, should we panic? No! With our valiant Helldivers, we're certain to uncover the truth. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
And yeah, it's out now. It's out now. So there you go. All right. We've got a couple more things to go through on this. Because we've got like a couple more things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 more things to talk about. Let us know, guys. Have y'all played this? And what'd you think of it so far if you have? Sorry, I'm kind of rushing through things. Okay, so, oh my God. Yeah, guys, if you get the chance, please watch this full video. Not only has Coffee Stain done an update explaining new features that they're adding to the experimental build currently, but they did it in such a fun and, like, memey way. Like, we literally got a Full Metal Alchemist Roy Mustang joke in there about, like, I hate it when it rains. It's not raining. It's raining. Like, yeah. It's so good. But in essence, they are adding they have fixed a lot of the pathing issues with vehicles. So that's a big thing. Another thing that they're doing, they have made updates to photo mode, but most importantly, you now have respawn areas that take place when you die. You can respawn at portable toilets. You now have respawn toilets. I love this. It's so silly. So, yes.
Apparently
respawn
satisfactory
toilets.
one. As intended. Oh. So I can do it again? Well, it's news to me.
So, yeah. So if you set up one of these portable toilets, when you die, you'll respawn there instead of all the way back at your base if you're far away. They also announced a bunch of other things. It's really silly. It's really fun. Fenris, I think you said you already saw this because we were talking about some of this stuff, I believe.
Yes.
Nice. And you were saying it makes you want to hop into the experimental build. Did you get a chance to?
I have not yet, but I'm so thankful they've decided to add daisy chains.
Yes. Explain to the audience, please.
Daisy chains are basically connecting one power line from one piece of machinery to another without the use of a power line pole. That's going to make everything look so much cleaner, so much nicer.
Yes! You can't see it, but I'm doing essentially praise the sun. Man, guys, you got to understand how annoying that was and how many power poles you had to put all over the place.
It got so annoying.
It was
modders made
a
specific mods for it.
Dude, I didn't even know there were like speed runs in the community for Satisfactory, but there are.
I didn't know it had an end to it, like a story end until very recently.
I didn't either. I was like, wait, this has. To be fair, I haven't gotten to the ending, so.
I haven't either.
I'm still on nuclear in one of my, and then I keep starting over with a new one because I'm like, oh my god, new features! It started new.
Yeah, we got to nuclear. I fucking built a reactor and a recycling system for it, and then we started over.
I have 2 worlds that are at nuclear. Just restarted again. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But yeah, guys, really excited about this, and then we're gonna talk about something we're like, hey, remember Bethesda? Because I kind of forgot about them. I played this game. It was all right. It had all the features that they promised in their dev preview, and it was just boring AF. But they are adding a lot of new stuff in there, and I'm curious if anybody watches this that has played Starfield, does this make you want to play reinstall Starfield and play it again? Because I'm
Oh
still
yeah,
kind of
Starfield
like,
was their failed fucking Skyrim space clone.
Yeah. I like what one of the mods in the modding community did. He literally turned it into Star Wars. Like, he made a bunch of mods where you could turn it into Star Wars. The only difference is that this time when you try and start shit with the Empire, the stormtroopers actually can aim and they hurt. They can kill you real fast. I'm like, oh, so it's a deadly Empire. Ooh, that's interesting. But yeah, you got like powers and you can get a laser sword and stuff like that and go into cantinas and they have multiple aliens, which Starfield is just predominantly humans. There are no aliens in this, at least I don't think so. I never finished the story. I don't know if there's actual aliens in there or not.
I got like an hour in and I was just so fucking bored.
I mean, the stuff that I found really, really fun was like shipbuilding. Like, I spent more time shipbuilding than I did any other stuff in the game, you know? Like, once I unlocked the ability to craft my own ship and like make it better and stuff, I was like, yeah, cool. They did introduce some stuff like cruise mode, so you can literally lock in for a planet and you can just get up from your navigation terminal and just go do other stuff. So say you've got crafting and a bunch of other stuff to do, you can do that while you're on your way to an objective. You can also they do have fast travel, but in case you want to like just do stuff while you're in cruise mode, you can. But you can get pulled out of cruise mode for certain events and things like that too. So like, if there are chances that pirates could show up and pull you out of cruise mode, and you have to go and take care of that too. But I think that's something that was desperately needed from base game. Keep in mind, I played this game when it first came out, and that was probably the worst time. This just kind of feels like Fallout 76 all over again. You know how when it was released, it was just a fucking mess, and then eventually they fixed it.
That everybody said it was going to be, because they were not going to pump the proper number of resources in to release a finished product. But then again, it's Bethesda. They never release a finished product.
Yeah, exactly. So it's Bethesda doing the Bethesda thing. I mean, to be fair, Starfield did something that I did not think was possible. It made people nostalgic for Mass Effect Andromeda. Oh my god.
That is a fucking...
Yeah.
That's a feat.
Yeah, because they were like, at least when Mass Effect Andromeda came out, it was just like certain graphical issues that were like the biggest thing, and it wasn't nearly as boring. It was like, dude, we had aliens, we did all this stuff, we were kind of invested in the story, we were at least kind of paying attention. When you go into Starfield, it feels like you fell asleep and somehow by muscle memory you kept playing. Who knows? Maybe they fixed that. I don't know. I haven't played it. I thought there was some interesting stuff. I actually thought some of the DLC stuff that they showed was pretty cool. I really would encourage you guys to go and give this video a look and see what all they've added to it, and see the stuff and like give us your thoughts on what you think. The question that I put to you is like essentially the question that I put for the link next to the link is like, new Starfield updates. Do we still care? Like, I had so much hope for this because like when they showed that 45-minute like dev insight video of this before it launched, I was really excited. I was like, oh my god, you could do so much stuff in here. This is amazing. Oh man, I wish so many other games had this kind of mechanic. And then you get in there and it has that mechanic, but the game's just dry and boring. And it's like, crap, what happened? You know? Very repetitive.
The curse of the 7-year game development time happened.
Yeah, I think so too. All right. I wanted to get into this, even though it's ongoing right now, just because I loved this trailer. I will actually show all the way through.
Experts agree.
So, guys, here we go. Steam Spring Sale has officially begun.
First sign of spring is when the Steam Spring Sale starts, bringing discounts by the thousands on games of all kinds from March 19th through 26th. Experts also agree to disagree on what kinds of games to buy, because there's literally everything. From heading underwater to explore the deep sea, to heading above the Earth to explore deep space. Experts also agree it's a fun idea to look into these games to see what kinds of horrors and psychological horrors await. If you like your horror, why can't I say that word? With a splash of comedy, we have those too, like this one, where you can cause mayhem for a wizard. If you like your horror non-existent or are into a more relaxing afternoon, try cozy puzzle games like this one, where you can sort and stack to your heart's content. Experts also agree that being in the mood for an adventure is fun. Explore the frontiers of Pandora, or dig and fight. There are survival games too, featuring sharks. You have a raft though, yay. And plane crashes, but you survived the plane crash, yay. Feel like breaking the law? Most experts say that's not a great idea, but why not when it's in a game? Even music is illegal in this rhythm game, but you don't care. Don't forget, during our seasonal sales, we also have this cool section featuring games with especially deep discounts. The Steam Spring Sale, the first official sign of spring as confirmed by the experts. Okay, I should probably point out I'm using air quotes around experts. They don't exist. Also, I can't say horror. Join us March 19th through 26th on Steam.
I thought that was...
That's how you do a trailer. Like,
right?
I relate so much not being able to say horror correctly.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many times I've stopped myself mid-sentence like, why can't I fucking say this word?
But yeah, there we go, guys. That is what we got coming for the Steam Spring Sale. If there is anything out there that you're interested in that is on your wish list, go check it out. It might be on sale right now. Or if you've got a game that you've been wanting to play with other people, now's a good time you could gift it to them. I really wish they did more of their sales around the beginning of the month rather than the end of the month, because that's usually when I'm broke. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, wanted to share that the Steam Spring Sale is out, and go grab you some good games. All right. We can't watch the full thing, but this one was sent by you, so go ahead and tell us about Resurrection, a Biohazard.
It is obviously from the Residents of Evil. Fantastic hour and 15 minutes. Highly recommend to watch it if you are a fan of the series. They purposely waited till today to launch it because today is the 30th anniversary. Resident Evil first launched March 22nd, 1996. Those of us who have played it, man, do we feel old now.
Is this covering the full story of the games or the full story of...
Oh, no, this is a completely original story.
Oh.
And it does have the original live action cast from the first Resident Evil game.
Gotcha. Okay, so Jill Sandwich. Yeah.
Yeah, the original Jill, the original Barry, Charlie Kravlowski, who played Chris, the original Wesker, and even the original Rebecca. Like I said, they're live action variants from the cutscenes in the game.
Also, going back and looking at the RE1 remake on like GameCube, and when it later came out on other systems, going back and looking at it, it's not simply that it's a little old and the gameplay mechanics feel old. Going back and looking at it, I realized like how bad the voiceover stuff was at that time, because we hadn't gotten to that point yet where like you would seriously get into it. It felt kind of like, it still felt a little half-assed, and I'm not yelling at the actors or anything, but it was definitely on the cusp of like the old way that video games were dubbed, as opposed to like it was in that transition period. So it felt like
there's actually a reason behind that.
Okay.
Shinji Mikami himself purposely made sure that all the English dubbing was said in very specific ways, so the Japanese players, when they played the English version, could understand, even with limited English.
Oh. Well, if they do the remake of RE1, I hope they fix that now because, guys, we have the internet now.
Dude, that's that a Capcom employee accidentally leaked that they are working on it.
I know that, but I'm still. It's quote unquote rumor, and we reported that the Capcom employee did that, but like
We did not report it.
We didn't report on that. Oh, okay. I
No,
thought we had.
because we avoid most rumors, but I said, if it came straight from a Capcom employee, it's not really a rumor.
Yeah, so I hope that's something that is getting fixed. Like I will say I have such fond memories of playing the RE1 remake, but the thing that really hits me the most with the RE1 remake is the atmosphere. The atmosphere of the mansion is what you're going to be sitting with for so long. So highly encourage anyone who is going to be working on that, the development team, please get the atmosphere of the mansion right. And I think you've already sold a lot of people on the mansion being remade in first person, because I think first person is the way to play it. Like, giving them the option to jump back and forth between first and third, I think is good. But like first person, I think if nothing else for your first playthrough, do it in first person, because it makes the mansion, it gives the mansion that tension that it needs, and the atmosphere that it so desperately needs. And then you can do third person after, you know? But yeah, I'm super down for that. All right, I'm here for it. So this is a brand new story. I'm gonna have to check this out.
Yep,
then.
it's a fan-made story, 100% fan-funded, no AI whatsoever.
When does this take place in the timeline then?
2021.
Huh. Okay. Interesting.
Like I said, it's not related to the actual Resident Evil timeline. It's a fan movie.
Gotcha.
But it's a full-length fan movie.
Gotcha. All right. Speaking of Resident Evil, we will cover this real quickly. RE9 officially exceeds 6 million sales worldwide. That's right. Capcom announced on Monday that its Resident Evil Requiem Biohazard Requiem game has exceeded 6 million units in cumulative sales worldwide. So the game is also the fastest to reach the milestone in the Resident Evil series. Rightly so. It's a damn good game. The game is all, let's see. Capcom also announced its plans to release additional game content and support for players to enjoy the game longer. There have been teases from staff that the next DLC that's coming out is supposed to be story DLC, and it'll expand on some stuff for the main story. And it's been teased that Ada might be in it. So, that's all I want to say. It is what it is. If you guys have played 9, let us know. How'd you find it? We gave our thoughts on 9 a couple weeks back, but I think we're still really enjoying it.
Yeah. I got one last playthrough, and then I'm putting it down for a while. I think 30 playthroughs is good enough for a bit.
Probably, yeah. I still have to stream. I have to stream my Insanity run, and then I'm gonna do some modded stuff, and then I'll put.
I'm gonna let you know now. Insanity, even with infinite ammo, still fucking tense, still hard.
Oh, I know. I've watched people speedrun Insanity just to get an idea, and I'm like, oh my god, there are enemies where there weren't before. So yeah, puzzles, locations of things are different. Puzzles are different. Insanity mode is challenging. That's the best way to say it. All right, on to our anime stuff. Kakao Entertainment reports 1 billion pirated content removals in the latest anti-piracy white paper. So, Kakao Entertainment released its 8th anti-illegal distribution response white paper on March 11th, reporting that the company has removed more than 1 billion instances of pirated content globally since launching its anti-piracy task force. The report details the activities of Kakao Entertainment's anti-piracy response team, and which was established in November 2021 to combat the illegal distribution of webtoons and web novels. According to the white paper, the company has removed a cumulative 1,004,075,309 copyright infringing items and helped shut down 32 illegal websites over the past 4 years. The latest edition focuses on enforcement activities from July to December 2025. During that period, the team refined its in-house anti-piracy framework known as TTT, Targeting, Tracing, Takedown, splitting the process into 2 strategies: Fast Track, which blocks large volumes of illegal postings quickly, and Deep Research, which focuses on identifying and tracking the operators behind piracy sites. The report also includes interviews with copyright protection experts from organizations such as the Motion Picture Association's Alliance for Creativity and Entertainment, otherwise known as ACE, and Japan's Authorized Books of Japan, or ABJ, highlighting the importance of international cooperation in addressing cross-border piracy. Kakao Entertainment said its anti-piracy efforts now extend beyond webtoons and web novels to include audio-visual adaptations and other derivative content tied to its intellectual property. The company added that it plans to continue strengthening copyright protection through a combination of technological enforcement, global collaboration, and user awareness initiatives aimed at protecting creators' rights. The company's English summary of the white paper can be read at the link provided in this report. That's the word. Alrighty. There we go. So good things are, and to be fair, guys, there's a difference between what we do and piracy. We're doing this, what we do with all of our parody stuff here on Fat Dog is because we love the shows and we want to promote the shows, and we're changing up the content a lot. We're not just outright stealing somebody's stuff and putting it up on a site and saying, hey, pay us. No, we're definitely doing our own thing with the content that we have. Now, I understand that there are quite a few people in Japan that would not agree with that, but, you know, they don't have fair use there. It is what it is. But, yeah, I support crackdowns on piracy. Alrighty. And now we're going to get to the title of this one. One Piece Anime's English dub casts 4 kids Luffy voice actress Erica Schroeder. That's right. Toei Animation announced on Friday that Erica Schroeder, the original voice of One Piece anime's main character Monkey D. Luffy, in the 4 Kids 2004 English dub, will voice Joy Boy in Crunchyroll's English dub. The character will appear in the next batch of the anime's English dub episodes 1144 to 1155, debuting on March 24th on Crunchyroll. In a similar way, Urara Takano voiced Joy Boy in the anime in Japanese. Takano originally voiced the series' main character Monkey D. Luffy in the One Piece Defeat the Pirate Gonzak Jump Super Anime Tour 1998 special, prior to Mayumi Tanaka voicing him in the main One Piece anime in 99. Yeah. So I thought this was pretty cool that we're getting the 4 Kids dub character cast or actress cast in One Piece, and most importantly as Joy Boy, which is a very important figure in the One Piece lore. So yeah, we're back in a way, showing some love to the cast who did the very censored version, and it's not their fault it was super censored. That blame like television standards here in the US, but I thought this was pretty cool. What are your thoughts? Fenris, you there?
It's awesome that she's still getting work.
Yeah. All right. If you find this interesting, let us know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and we'll move on. All right. Last bit of One Piece news. Wit Studio president George Wada confirms tight pacing, modern artistic styles for the One Piece anime series remake. President and CEO of Production IG and president of Wit Studio, George Wada, said in an interview with the iShow posted on Thursday that the One Piece, Wit Studios' remake of the One Piece anime for Netflix will have tighter pacing without unnecessary padding when compared to Toei Animation's original anime. Wada stated that they were motivated to remake the story using modern techniques, combining new visuals with strong pacing and storytelling. The idea was a response to original creator Eiichiro Oda's thoughts that Toei's anime might not reach a younger generation because it was too long. Started many years ago and featured outdated animation in early episodes. The interview is streaming with English subtitles below, or as you can see here. In terms of directorial and artistic style, Wada added that Wit Studio aims to produce the new remake with similar strength and quality to its other anime such as Attack on Titan, Spy Family, and Vinland Saga, which have aired at late night in Japan. This is in comparison to Toei's anime, which airs on a children's time slot, Sunday mornings. At the same time, he expressed that he wants the new anime to fully respect Toei Animation's work. And below is the full list of people working on this one. And then past information on the One Piece remake. So, let us know what your thoughts are in the comments, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this, Fenris. Are you going to check out the One Piece when it comes out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on its release timeline, I might just wait to continue One Piece until it's done, until the first season of the One Piece is out.
I think
Because some of the original animation is pretty fucking bad.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's that early 90s animation, definitely. But yeah, I'm interested. I think the first season, because I'm hoping they're gonna do this in the whole seasonal.
I'm honestly hoping the pacing for the One Piece is on par with the live action.
Yeah, definitely something. Well, they'll probably cover a little bit more and be able to go into a little bit more in detail in certain areas. I think the Usopp Syrup Village got screwed over in the live action versus what we got in the manga. But like, to be fair though, if somebody wants to get into One Piece, I don't wholly recommend the anime. I suggest they check out the manga because the pacing is so much better in the manga. Especially as we get further in, the pacing gets much tighter. But yeah, I can definitely see, like, especially with like all the East Blue stuff, which of course Logetown is part of the East Blue saga, that if you go from the very start of One Piece all the way through to Logetown, I could see that getting covered in like a season, especially if you cut out a lot of the unnecessary stuff that's in there. Like, if you can trim down the fluff and, you know, tighten things up, I could honestly see you getting through Logetown in probably like 40 episodes, easy. Like really, really easily. So like, you could cover all the way up to Sanji's restaurant, the Baratier, in probably I'd say like 2 seasons. Like if you did it seasonally, take your break, come back with Arlong Park, give Arlong Park the time it needs to breathe, get Logetown done, and they're just about to hit you could add Laboon in as its thing, and do Reverse Mountain and then stop before Whiskey Peak and then cover Whiskey Peak to Drum Island, because there's a lot more to cover from the anime and manga than was available in the live action. But yeah, I could see like getting to season 4 really easily with season 4 just straight out being Alabasta, and there's so much that could be tightened up in Alabasta. I could see Alabasta being done in like a 12 to 24 episode run for just Alabasta. Now, as they get further on, there's a lot that needs to be tightened up. Dressrosa has a lot going on, but also at the same time, it doesn't need to be 100 episodes long. It does not. There's too much there. But yeah, that's post time skip stuff that you could get into later if the pacing is trimmed down. Sorry, I love One Piece, so I would go on to a tangent for this. Yeah. Oh no, we have one more One Piece news at the end, but I'll leave it for now. Alrighty.
Yes, I am well aware you like One Piece.
Sorry.
Once you get started, you do not stop when people say, "Hey, I haven't watched this part yet."
Sorry. All right. So let's get to some old school stuff. You want to cover this? Or you good?
Let me get the article pulled up.
Okay.
So yeah, Media OCD announced the new round of titles that it is adding to its store as part of the Discotheque Deep Dives initiative. The titles the company has added for pre-order in March include Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, the animated series in standard definition, Captain Harlock, Arcadia of My Youth, Cardcaptor Sakura, the movie 1 and 2, Darkstalkers, the complete OVA collection, Demon City Shinjuku, Devilman, the complete OVA series, Fist of the North Star, the TV series complete collection in standard definition, King of Braves Go Gaigar, the complete TV series, King of Braves Gao Gaigar final, Iria Zerium the animation, Jinro the Wolf Brigade, Kamen Rider Black RX, Kamen Rider V3, Kamikaze Girls, Kenichi the Mightiest Disciple, the Attack of Darkness OVA series, Kodacha the complete first and second series, both in standard definition, Lupin the Third, Goodbye Partner, Mononoke, New Cutie Honey, Sergeant Frog seasons 1 through 7 in standard definition, Sonic X the complete series English language collection in standard definition, Space Adventure Cobra TV the complete original TV series, Tencho Tenge, the complete collection, and Wicked City. Media OCD will also release the following titles from Media Blasters: Osamu Tezuka's Phoenix, the perfect collection, Magical Witch Puni-chan, Jungle Day Iko, and Jungle Day Iko. The Media OCD announced in January that it has started to carry distributor Discotheque Media's entire back catalog that the company specifies to the extent that it's available through the initiative. The company will add 20 to 30 Discotheque titles monthly to its store for pre-order, prioritizing titles that are getting hard to find.
Yeah, I like this. I think this is really, really good, especially because there's a bunch of stuff like Tenjo Tenge and Jinro that I think a lot of people should check out. Like, there's a lot of really good older stuff here.
I mean,
I think
even Kodacha, like, I can't find that anywhere now.
Oh, Kodacha, dude, because and that was the one where Laura Bailey voiced Kodacha, and like it was so funny hearing Laura rapping as that character.
It was, yes.
It was super
but
funny.
it has such a good message, and it is so heartwarming.
Alrighty.
But once again, you can't find it anywhere now.
That's true. So I think this is a really, really good thing, and I'm looking forward to see what the next announcement of shows over the next month is going to be. If they're dropping like 30 a month,
I can't wait to see either.
Yeah. All right, let's get to some sad news. ANN has confirmed reporting from Screen Rant that Crunchyroll has recently laid off a number of employees after a restructuring and redistribution of roles based on location. The company's restructuring is also due to shift in its e-commerce strategy and not due to cost-cutting measures. Screen Rant's reporting on March 10th stated that layoffs were roughly 1/8 to 1/7 the size of the amount of staff Crunchyroll laid off last August. A former senior product designer at Crunchyroll stated on LinkedIn on March 9th that she was part of what she called mass layoffs at Crunchyroll. Other former Crunchyroll employees who posted on LinkedIn about being laid off this week were from HR or e-commerce departments. ANN could not corroborate the size of the layoffs reported by Screen Rant or the former senior product designer. Commercial real estate marketplace LoopNet is currently listing for sale an office and warehouse in Grimes, Iowa that had Right Stuff as a tenant but currently has Crunchyroll as a tenant. The listing states Crunchyroll has a lease through 2030. Crunchyroll purchased anime retailer Right Stuff back in August of 2022 ANN could not confirm if Crunchyroll's shift in its e-commerce strategy is related to this sales listing. In January, after Crunchyroll had started delisting a significant portion of Discotek's back catalog, including titles that were not out of print, video post-production company Media OCD announced it will begin carrying distributor Discotek's media entire backlog, which we just talked about, through its newly launched Discotek Deep Dives project. Yeah. So, and this is the backlog of stuff from August. So we got layoffs from Crunchyroll, but thankfully they're not in the areas I was worried they were going to be in. Unfortunately, it does suck when you lose your job, especially right now that we're not seeing any job growth and people aren't getting hired very quickly into new places. But yeah, it's hard to find a job out there. I can attest to several friends who got laid off that are still unemployed and have turned in so many applications and done so many interviews, and it just feels like nobody's hiring. So I really do feel for the people that just lost their jobs. That being said, about the sectors that they are like downsizing or whatever, I guess it kind of makes sense. I don't have much to say about this. It's more like I wish that Right Stuff hadn't been bought up by Crunchyroll, but
A lot of people do. Like, I used to buy so much manga from Right Stuff because it had a fantastic deal.
yeah. Rest in peace, Right Stuff. We miss you. But no, this just feels like the big evil overlord Crunchyroll slowly dismantling the smaller Right Stuff as it. The big dragon that is Crunchyroll is slowly digesting Right Stuff, is what it feels like to me. And I'm just like, yep, the natural cycle of digestion has occurred.
Yep.
As unfortunate as that is, it just feels that way. Alrighty. Lastly, I thought this was I wanted to end on something kind of awesome and adorable. So One Piece's Chopper supports Doctors Without Borders. So, the One Piece franchise and humanitarian medical care charity Doctors Without Borders announced on Friday that One Piece character Tony Chopper is joining the organization as an official supporter. One Piece creator Eiichiro Oda personally drew an original illustration of Chopper supporting the MSF flag, and MSF added, "A new doctor has joined the team." So MSF opened a dedicated website which states a small doctor with a big heart embarks on a humanitarian journey. The site adds Tony Chopper is joining MSF teams around the world as they endeavor to provide care to people living through crisis. We're seeing how communities rebuild after natural disaster strikes, why families face difficulties reaching doctors, and what care looks like in times of conflict. The site features an original Chopper's short comic of Chopper learning about MSF. As of press time, One Piece, Choppers, and MSF have not announced if the comic series will continue. But I just thought that was really cool, and I wanted to get some good news to end off on, or at least something just adorable. I love this illustration. This is great. This is everything.
It is great.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's the show for today. Let us know what you thought of some of the topics that we covered. I'm sorry we didn't go into detail on some of the videos that we had, but some of the videos are long. The Starfield video is like 40 something minutes, and I didn't want to sit here for 40 minutes making you guys watch all that content. So I am kind of giving you guys homework if you want to check out some of the stuff on your own and give us your thoughts and let us know in the comments. But I also, because we had so many stories, I didn't want to drag this on for too long and have us sitting here forever. But yeah, guys, let us know in those comments. And as always, I am Richie Roberts, your Minister of Science and Technology.
And I'm Fender Saurin, your patron saint of snackos and alcohol.
And this has been Anime Church, the church where you can cosplay and no one will judge you for it. Until then, take care, and we'll see you guys Monday for, we got more light novels because we got one more Monday. There are 5 Mondays this month. Yeah. Holy cow. But yeah, so we'll be back with more light novel goodness. And, yeah. We'll see you guys again next week for more Anime Church. Take care, and bye-bye for now.
Bye.